Welcome back to another bonus episode of Big Business. In case you didn't know, I come out with a main episode every week and a bonus. And in today's bonus, I'm going to be chatting about two things: managing burnout and setting healthy boundaries for yourself as a business owner. And I've got to give a shout out to Alicia from the Petal Collective, who DM'd me on my Big Business Instagram account with these questions. So question one is, how do you manage the burnout period, especially when your business is new and you feel like you need to go 24/7? And then her second question is... Okay, Xander thinks we just need to answer that one first. Yeah. How do you manage the burnout period, especially when your business is new and you feel like you need to go 24/7? Well, I like to keep it real here on Big Business, Alicia, and I'm going to tell you straight away now, even when your business isn't new, you're going to feel that way. I'm 8 years in and I still feel that pressure of go all the time. If anything, I think the bigger your business gets and the older it gets, the more you feel that pressure. And I know that's a really kind of negative sounding thing to say, but I keep it real when it comes to business. It never fucking gets easier, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I know that the way that I post about my business on social media, especially in my reels and TikToks, it can make it seem so fun and easy. But you've got to remember, when it comes to like TikToks and Instagram reels, I'm trying to entertain people. You know, I'm not going to get on my Instagram reels and say like all the fucked up shit that I'm dealing with at work. Number one, because that would be extremely unprofessional. And number two, I don't want my social media to be a negative space or to make anyone have negative vibes coming from my content. Like when I'm creating my content about my business, I want to inspire people. I want to entertain them. I want to give them something to laugh at. So that's why I don't really talk about the negative shit on social media. I just feel like it's is it like a bad omen? I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, like to put like negative stuff out onto the internet. But that's why I love having this podcast, because it's here where I can kind of talk about some of the more challenging parts of business. And I feel like this is a little safe space where I can do so. But how do you manage the burnout period? I think it's just being mindful of when you are feeling burnt out. Not going to lie, I haven't really spoken about this much on social media, definitely not. Another reason why I don't talk about this on social media is I've got 70 employees and I'm really mindful of what I say on my social media and how they might portray me. But 2025 has been absolutely fucked for me. Xander's just pissing himself. Like, we went into this year and first week back, it was like shit was just hitting the fan left, right and center. And we've had challenge after challenge thrown at us, like internally within Fate. And it's just felt like I haven't been able to catch my breath yet, or I haven't been able to actually start working on anything that I want to be working on because we've had to be putting out so many fires at Fate. And like, that's just the reality of business. And of course, I'm not going to go and make reels being like, this week has been fucked at work. And like, that's why I don't get on my stories and say, fuck, I'm really struggling at work this week, because I'm worried that my staff are going to fucking see it and go, was it me? Like, you know, like that's something I'm so mindful of. But I'll happily vent about it here. And like, ever since we've come back in 2025, I won't lie, I've felt extremely burnt out. I've been saying to AJ, like, I'm really fucking struggling because we've got all this stuff going on at work, which is mainly to do just with like people, which is always a thing in business. Like, if you're managing a lot of people, it's going to be really difficult to make every single one of them extremely happy. Like, you get a room full of 70 people and good luck making them all exactly the same level of happiness. And I think it's just about being mindful when you are feeling burnt out, knowing when you need to take a little break, writing your thoughts and feelings down. I know for me, like, I can lay in bed at night and just have my thoughts racing about everything that I've got to do the next day. And I love the tip of just going and writing it all out on a piece of paper, like just do like a mental dump onto a piece of paper. And I think it's also important to remind yourself, like, when you're going through like a stressful time at work or you're feeling burnt out, it's not that fucking serious at the end of the day. And that's what I always say. Like, if we're dealing with something at work and I'm working with someone and the stress levels are high, I just think it's not that fucking big of a deal at the end of the day. you'll always figure it out no matter what the issue is. And I think it's just important to take time for yourself, express how you're feeling. Like I say to AJ, I'm feeling really burnt out from everyone at work this week. I feel like I haven't been able to focus on any tasks that I want to do because I feel like I'm being pulled back from all of these setbacks. And just know that you're going to get through it and you're going to feel better. Like I'm feeling really good now, but a few weeks back, I was like, fuck this year. And it's only February. And you're going to go through those waves. I say this all the time, and I hate saying cliche sayings, but nothing good comes easy, especially in business.
You recently took a little bit of time off and went overseas. Did that help with your...
Overseas?
Did you go overseas?
No.
Oh, where did you go?
Queensland.
Oh, I thought you were in like the bloody Bahamas or something.
No, I wish.
Ah, well, you recently took some time off and went away.
Yes.
Did that help you with kind of like refreshing yourself?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And AJ and I don't think we've ever gone away in February before. Like it felt so weird. Like usually it's like...
I don't think I've ever seen you, besides you went away for a wedding. This entire year you've never gone away.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen you take a break.
Yeah. And I think like you need to have guilt-free breaks, and that's something that I really want to focus on more this year. And I definitely have the mentality of like, if I go away from work, like what's going to happen? Everything's going to fall apart. Like, because you just put that pressure on yourself as a business owner. But we took that week off and we were away from work. In saying that, when we left, I'm messaging all the group chats, like, you can contact us at any point. Like, it doesn't matter if anything goes wrong, just send us a message. And I was still talking to everyone the week that I was away, but I was away. And I tried not to have that guilty feeling of like, oh, I'm not in the office today kind of thing. And it's something that I'm working on. But to answer your question, like, how do you manage the burnout period? You just have to give yourself time, take a break if you need it, and know that it's always going to be there tomorrow. You don't need to fix everything in that moment, and you're going to go through waves of burnout. It's just all about taking time for yourself and just prioritizing yourself. And this leads me into your next question. She said that she was listening to a previous episode and she resonated with the sentiment of setting healthy boundaries for founders to create a restful and restorative nighttime routine. But when I work 8 to 4 and then spend 4 till 7 with my family doing all the family things, I put my phone in my bedroom, and then all the time I have for my business is from 8 to 10 p.m. It's hard not to be on a device. It's so true. I actually said to AJ last week, and we're going to try to start doing it from this week because I've been in Sydney for like the last 4 days at the time that I'm recording this. We get into bed at night, like after we've had dinner and like watched a show or whatever. And then I think that's when we both have our time to just like scroll and like, that's like our unwind time. But I said to him, I feel like we should implement a rule where once we're getting into bed, like you get into bed to be in bed and there's no more devices, or at most maybe we can put a movie on the laptop, but no more phone time in bed. And he said, like, I so agree, because I don't think it's doing us any favors to be on our phones and then you are flicking in between apps, then you'll open your emails and then I'll be in my DMs replying to people, and like you're literally working still in bed. And I don't think that's a good thing at all. And I totally get what you mean where you're saying that you're working all day and spending your afternoon with your family, and then you feel like at night is the only time you have the time to kind of do the things that you want to do for your business. And I'm very much the same in my position. I saw Davey, who owns the Oodie. You all know that business, I'm sure. He posted a video like a few weeks back now saying that when you're the CEO of the company, you are the filter of the shit. And I love that. I'm like, you're so correct. That's what being a CEO is. And a lot of days I feel as if though my whole workday is spent being the filter for the shit, so that then by the time I'm done with the workday and all my staff have gone home, that's when I have the time to work on my business. And it can be tough because you can be working, up until 11 o'clock at night or whatever. I think, again, it's just about setting a boundary with yourself and even like time blocking. I definitely do work at night, but I also kind of like enjoy doing bits of work at night. But I think it's important that you're not doing it all night, every night. Maybe it's saying on Tuesday nights from this hour to this hour, I am going to do this, and being really productive with that time. I don't think you should be like cutting yourself off completely from working at night, because I'm not going to lie, I think a lot of my success has come from me grinding at night, and getting all that creative work done. But I don't have an exact answer for your question, which is how do you set and manage healthy boundaries? I think it's something that we're always constantly working on and can always be better at. And I think it's just something that you'll learn eventually with time.
I actually took a lot away from the piece of advice that Jess passed on about limiting your screen time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've implemented parts of it into my daily routine now. And especially now when there's so much doom and gloom on social media. You open up your phone and everything's all on the political climate at the moment. It's a lot when you wake up in the morning and you jump on your phone and you're seeing that. And I was noticing that I was coming into work and I was so frazzled and already filled with negativity that I'd seen from my phone that it was actually affecting how I was throughout the day, how I interacted with people, my productivity, how I was tackling tasks at work. So now what I do is when I wake up in the morning, all I do on my phone is turn my alarm off, and I do not go on social media. I don't check any notifications until I get to work. And it's completely changed the way I operate throughout the day. So I'm feeling less burnt out because of it, because my mind isn't focused on that and it's not thinking about those things.
Yes.
When I get to work. So maybe that's something that anyone listening, you can start implementing to help with that, with some burnout. It's not going to help everything.
No.
But I know it's helped me.
Yes.
And it also feels fucking great not to be on my phone as much.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited. Literally this week, I'm going home after today after not being home for the last 3 or 4 nights. And I honestly want to try no phones in bed, because it's our thing. It's you're scrolling until you pass out. You're watching TikToks until you can't keep your eyes open anymore. And we both do it. And I'm this can't be good for us. And surely it's not giving us the best sleep that we can get. Whereas I want to get in bed and we'll either say no technology at all. We might just talk and fall asleep, or we might put a movie on the laptop and we're watching it together. We're not going to put a movie on the laptop and then both be scrolling at the same time, because it just can't be good for us, for our health, for our sleep. And I'm really looking forward to it. But thank you so much, Alicia, for sending in your questions. When it comes down to it, managing burnout and, managing how much time you're working at night, it's something that you just need to work out for yourself. And I get the importance of needing to work at night when that is the only time that you have, but just set those boundaries with yourself, limit the time that you're doing it, and don't stretch yourself, because, you don't want to end up in a burnout period. But please know you're not alone when it comes to feeling burnout. We all go through it, all of us. You don't even have to be a business owner. We all experience burnout. Xander will be the first to tell you that.
I'm the most bloody burnt out, I tell you that.
Isn't your middle name Burnt Out?
Xander Burnt Out Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Alicia, for sending in your questions.